Zion Williamson didn't just arrive at Duke in 2018. He crashed the ACC party like a runaway freight train. 2018 Zion was an absolute menace. Every time the 6'7", 285-pound freshman took flight, the internet lost its mind. Defenders ducked for cover, and NBA scouts rewrote their draft boards. He terrorized his opponents, and nobody had no clue how to stop him. From the 28-point debut against Kentucky to the sneaker-splitting slip heard around the world, we'll relive every gravity-defying dunk, chase-down block, and box score-shattering night that turned Zion's lone season in Durham into a weekly primetime event and cemented his legendary status before he ever reached the NBA. In his college debut on November 6, 2018, Zion Williamson scored 28 points and had 7 rebounds in Duke's 118-84 win over Kentucky at the Champions Classic. He continued to be a menace game after game.
Zion Williamson with his first 2. Williams gets the ball 20 feet away from the hoop, cross court to Barrett. His second try also off the mark. Williamson tracks down the rebound, and he lays it in. Well, they have effectively traded baskets. We've had 3 ties so far. Williamson just wills himself to the bucket. He's got 6 early points. Alex O'Connell has also come in. Williamson just bigger than everybody else. Zion. Williamson spins into the lane, kicks to the side, triple again. Finally finding the mark. R.J. Barrett.
And it's an unselfish play, though. I mean, Zion could have easily...
In his second game against Army, he dropped 27 points, had 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and 6 blocks. This really showed how he was able to dominate at every facet of the game.
Williamson, I'm telling you, how much, unless you're a member of, there's another one. He just gobbled up that shot.
Quality staff and faculty who are role models and experts in their field. And of course, it's the young men and women who
Zion Williamson with another block shot.
In his next game, he dropped 21 points in 21 minutes in a dominating win against Eastern Michigan.
Ball turnovers especially. Whoa! 10 for Zion in the first half. Jones a little over the shoulder for Williamson. Come on!
And then in the first 5 games of their tournament,
and in the next game, he didn't play that much either. 13 points in 18 minutes and 6 rebounds in a dominating win against San Diego State.
But this team, look out. Get out of the way, Jay. Doesn't matter. Every game, it's going to happen at least one.
But this might have been the point where Duke was being seen as the villains of college basketball.
Okay, Zion just continues to be incredible. I mean, look, he's shooting 82.1%. A lot of it is actually with dunks and layups because he doesn't even have to do it otherwise. He had a relatively pedestrian night, but still, they made San Diego State look like they didn't even belong on that same court. Is it too early to be putting this team where we're already putting them in this, like, upper echelon of greatness?
I don't think it's too early because every time the Duke Blue Devils take the floor, it's going to be must-see TV. Collegiate basketball now has a villain again. In the Duke Blue Devils, they're playing the one-and-done game, something that Coach K initially did not embrace. Coach Cal, however, did. Now that he's doing it, and he's the best coach of the modern-day era, you see players like Cam Reddish knocking down shots, playing well on defense. R.J. Barrett, who led the team in scoring. The Duke Blue Devils have won 4 straight games by 20-plus points, and it's been must-see TV.
Now, this is the first game where there's not much to report for Zion. 13 points in a win against the top team in Auburn. which was his first non-dominating performance. It made people a little bit reserved on how good was Zion actually.
Barrett!
And then Duke suffered their first loss against Gonzaga. And it really did make people question some things about the team and about Zion. Although, he did improve his points by getting 22 in this game.
I'm sure, Jay. Here's a steal now, and it's Norvell. Got Perkins with him. Another blow. Barrett, it's a three, and it's well short. Whoa, Williamson! They can take the lead with a three. There's Williamson in the middle. Tie game. So hard to deal with.
Fast forward 20 games into the season, and Zion is definitely making history, being one of the most highest scoring Duke players in history.
I talked about this for years. It's unfair to American-born players that graduate from high school, that in theory they can't enter the draft, but international prospects are allowed to. Luka Doncic has been a pro for a handful of years. To your point, if Zion wanted to go to the league, he should have that opportunity. That's going to come in a couple of years.
But then something happened that would foreshadow the future of Zion Williamson. And then Zion had a huge comeback game against Syracuse, dropping 29 points and 14 rebounds to beat Syracuse in the ACC quarterfinals.
Here he goes! Transition dunk, knee, check. Game.
R.J. Barrett, one of the really good guard rebounders in the country, especially on the defensive end.
And there's where he was so successful against Syracuse at the Carrier Dome. He misses, but Williamson follows.
Just a great offensive rebounder. Averages about 3 offensive rebounds per game.
And all here this week in Charlotte as Barrett.
I think that knee's okay, Dan. My expert medical opinion after watching Zion Williamson dunk twice.
Now Williamson for 3. So a couple of dunks and a three-pointer for Zion in his return. On plays great here. How does the committee evaluate them? Do they just look at what they've done with Zion Williamson as he's over the top again?
By Jones. Ball goes up in the air, and that was a spectacular play. Now, the end was beyond spectacular, but you don't see plays made like Trey Jones just made very often. Oh, my goodness. Go get it. My goodness.
Reddish no. Williamson again.
This is ridiculous. What a rebound. I mean, look at the people in the crowd. Their mouths are on the floor. Their jaws on the floor.
And another dunk for Zion. 9 for 9. The Orange back into it.
Oh, Frank Howard has the ultimate green light without Tyus Battle in the ball game. They have to have scoring out of Frank Howard.
Trey Jones, no. Loose ball bounces around. Williamson's got it and reverses it up and in. Over the top to Williamson again. Wow. One-handed put back off the glass. He's got 25. Williamson. Everything is going. He's a perfect 12 for 12. Hughes sees a seam. And Williamson with a rejection.
Watch Williamson just timing this and then blocking it before it almost cracked him in the head.
Offensive rebound, Williamson, 13 for 3. Here comes the pressure from the Orange. Going to trap a little bit more, it looks like.
Williamson can make a play in there. Great pass.
Back right. Joe Bombo, SB Nation Radio. This question is for RJ. How excited were you to get out there and just get back on the court after the showing against Carolina and just kind of prove that you have that game that you people talk about?
He doesn't. You guys are really something. He doesn't have to prove anything. These guys are really good players. It's about being in the moment. I'm sorry. Come on. Come on.
Then with full confidence going into the game against North Carolina, Zion goes and drops 31 with 11 rebounds to beat the Tar Heels.
The top to him. Brankovic with the feed, and again it's a one-point game.
And then to wrap up the ACC tournament, Zion goes and drops 21 points in a win against FSU.
And here goes Williamson. And that's doing whatever he has to do to help his team win. Williamson to get it.
Basically, going into the tournament, Duke played number 16 North Dakota State and dominated, winning, and Zion dropping 25. And then they play UCF, where Zion goes and drops 32. Then they go and play Virginia Tech, where Zion drops 23. And then, unfortunately, their season ends in a 1-point loss against Michigan State, where Zion ended the season dropping a 24-point game.
Zion, congratulations on the honor. Obviously, it's a big award, but you're also a huge competitor. What are some of the emotions attached to being here, accepting the award, but not participating in the Final Four?
I am honored that I was selected for this award. I see it as a team award, like I said, because my teammates always pushed me to be here, and so did the coaches. But yeah, I am a competitor. I wish I was here under different circumstances, but I mean, you win some, you lose some, so you just got to move on.
Not want to play for, then they said it was kind of an April Fool's joke. Have you thought about what's next for you, and are there any NBA teams you wouldn't want to play for?
Whatever NBA team I land on, that's the team that's where I want to be. Like, whoever drafts me, that's where I want to be.
And that team ended up being the Pelicans with the first overall pick. The theory for years now is that college basketball changed forever because of Zion Williamson. It started a debate on whether or not players that played in college had a disadvantage to players that were playing internationally. And it really questioned the level at which college players were playing at.
In what feels like a down year in overall national interest for the sport, is this just a blip? Is this a hangover from what was the extraordinary attention that Zion got last year and all of that? Or is this a new normal in college basketball with players going overseas and an increasing G League and questions about paying guys? Is this what college basketball is turning into?
It's trending towards the latter, Greeny, with the optionality of all the different routes that people could take to become a pro. And here's the thing, if you're a Zion Williamson or if you're a kid in high school right now, you have 1.5 million people that follow you on IG, and you're essentially a star. And you see the optionality of, do I want to go overseas and make money? Do I want to go to the G League that the NBA is investing more in?
Zion's time at Duke proved he was an absolute menace to society. And he changed the game of college basketball. But I can't say the same for the pro level.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I seen him in person. I'm like, damn, dog. Big alligator, man. You gotta get him out that water, bro. He over there eating up everything.
But see, the thing is, we can't have healthy conversations because the first thing they say, you trying to fat shame the man. The man is undisciplined. Fat kids become fat adults. Oh, give him some time to figure it out. You said that when he was 20. You said it when he was 21. You said it when he was 22. You said it when he was 23. Now he's 24. What excuses are you going to make for him now? I don't care anything about nothing off the field. I could care less about that. I'm talking about his weight, him being undisciplined, and he's staying hurt. Oh, but when he plays, but when is that? He's missed 211 of a possible 401 games. That's crazy.
And he got the man.
But that's a story for another day.